to Brewing Success, where growth is the mission, change is the reward, and progress is the goal. I am your host, Andrea Gebhardt. I'm a former educator turned passionate entrepreneur whose desire to create impact has never wavered. I've spent the last decade teaching, mentoring, and coaching people on how to create success in their lives and businesses with proven strategies and systems that not only bring about change, but big results. When it comes down to it, teaching is my specialty, leadership is my jam, and inspiring you to live a bigger, fuller life is what I'm all about. This podcast will give you the knowledge and tools you need to brew success in almost any area of your life. You're going to walk away each week feeling inspired, motivated, and ready to step outside your comfort zone and into the next level of who you're meant to be. Now let's get into today's episode. So let's kick this one off with a little fun today. It's time for a riddle. So what is one thing that everyone wants a little more of, but they're not quite sure how to get? I'll repeat it. What is one thing everyone wants a little more of, but they're not quite sure how to get? Now, before your brain goes too deep on this one, I'm just going to give you the answer because you probably won't guess because it's like the most random thing ever. But the one thing that everyone wants a little more of, but they don't know how to get is influence. Trust me when I say that everyone wants to be a little bit more influential. And even if you're sitting here, you're like, really? Do I? Do I want to have more influence? Yes, you do. Why? Because leadership is influence. And we're going to talk about increasing influence and really kind of how to do that and understanding the role that influence plays in leadership. So why is it that people want more influence? Well, to put it simply, influence is how we get people on board with what we want. And when you're leading an organization, when you're leading a team, when you're leading your family, when you're leading, it really doesn't matter, like whatever it is that you're leading, you probably have a goal in mind, a target in mind, an agenda in mind, a vision in mind. And influence is how we get people to move. And influence, it's so crazy. Like influence starts literally at the youngest of ages, right? A group of little toddlers are playing in the same room. One toddler makes his way over to the dump truck, is having a ton of fun. All the other little toddlers wander over because they're influenced to check out that truck. It happens in elementary school age groups. I actually just witnessed this happen this weekend with a group of girls, and it was like a break between dances at a dance comp. And, there's one girl in this group who probably is a little bit more influential than some of the others. She's respected. She's looked up to by all the younger girls. And when it came time, one of the girls offered a snack to the group, like, oh, who wants to try this? And everybody kind of looked to the one girl to see if she was going to act. And that girl's like, oh, no, I'm fine. And then all those other little girls like, oh, no, I'm fine. They were influenced. Their decision to either try the snack or not try the snack was influenced by the other person. People have the ability to influence what we order at restaurants. And you guys have all been in that situation, I'm sure, where you're sitting at a table and the server comes up and the server's like, okay, we're going to grab any drinks for anybody. And then if somebody's like, no drinks for me tonight, I'm just going to have water. Then the whole table, usually that's what they order. But if somebody's like, yeah, I'll totally take like a margarita, then the whole table orders your drinks. So we are easily influenced by others. And we recognize that having influence is important because influence is what gets people to move. Influence is how we get people on board with what we want. Sometimes we use influence to get the family to smile all at the same time for photos. Sometimes influence is used at work to get a team of people on board with an idea or strategy. Sometimes influence is to get an important agenda on the move. This is why celebrities are often engaged to be the spokesperson or the front person for a certain political movement or a certain agenda or product campaign. Whether you like it or not, influence is how you get things done. And influence is synonymous with leadership. And even if you're not aware of it, you are a leader in your life. Even if you don't see yourself as a leader, like I don't have a team yet, or I'm not, leading a business yet, you're a leader in your life. If you're a mom, you're leading your family. I mean, that's just as simple as that. And influence matters. if influence is how we get things done, and influence is how we get things accomplished, and influence is how we initiate energy behind something, then we have to understand really what influence is and how we can build and how we can develop it. So know that influence is a product of trust, and it requires building relationships and your reputation. So influence is a product of trust, and it requires building relationships and your reputation. Think about it for a second. People have influence over your life. They inspire the kind of foods you eat. They inspire the way you decorate your house. They inspire the products that you buy. Or influence, I should say, not inspire. They influence these decisions that you make. You trust them. You have a real relationship with them, or you have a virtual relationship with them. And you believe in their reputation. Like, well, so-and-so is very healthy. Like, her reputation, she's very healthy. She's very fit. So yes, I'm going to be interested in what she talks about when it comes to that genre. John Maxwell is a well-known leadership. I mean, he is like literally the guru of leadership. More books sold ever out of anybody on leadership. He is the end-all be-all knowledge, like just timeless, priceless knowledge. And if you're looking to be a leader, you trust that. You know his reputation backs that. And so when you're looking to grow in the leadership space, that's where you go, right? So reputation really does matter. Believe it or not, your ability to build trust, though, and relationships relies heavily on one thing. And you want to know what that one thing is? It's your energy. So just follow me for a second. Your energy is what builds your reputation and allows you to build trust with people, which totally dictates your level of influence. So we need to understand the important role that energy plays in our ability to become more influential. The more influential you become, the better leader you become. Remember, these two words, leader and influence, are synonymous, right? Good leaders have influence, bad leaders have influence, all the same. And so we have to understand how this relationship between energy and influence really does work. So your energy introduces you before you even say a word. Your energy is the first thing that someone meets. It serves as the first impression, whether it's online, in person, or even in silence. Your energy is felt, and upon that feeling, a decision is made. The minute your energy enters the space of another person, they begin to ask themselves, do I trust this person? Can I trust this person? Do I want to be in relationship with this person? Do I want to network with this person? I know that you're probably doubting that this actually happens, and that's because it happens so fast and on such a subconscious level that you may not even be aware that it is happening. But trust me, it is. And let me prove it. So when someone you don't know enters a room, one of two things happen. You either become curious or closed off. Think about it for a second. Think about the last time you're in a group with a group of people or within a group of people, and somebody new walks into the environment. You either become curious of who they are and what they're about, or you become closed off. We've all been there. I'm sure we've all experienced that. If the energy of that person is good, they're smiling, they have a confident posture, you become curious because that energy is attractive. If they come in disgruntled and complaining, scowling, and hunched, you're probably going to close yourself off because that energy doesn't feel good. The energy you give says a lot about who you are and what you are about. And the good news is that regardless of your natural level of energy, we can work to improve it by simply being aware of it at all times. And what most people don't know is that energy is a choice. Just like the clothes you wear today are a choice, the shoes you pick out today are a choice, the meals you decide to eat are a choice, your energy is also a choice. You get to choose and decide what energy you will have, carry, and give. This is a very important thing to remember because for most of our lives, our energy was based upon our circumstances, right? Like when we're unaware of our energy, the things that happen around us have the ability to impact, influence, and change change your energy. Someone cuts you off, your energy dips. Someone didn't flush the toilet, your energy dips. Someone at work said something dumb, your energy dips. Something good happens, your energy increases. You got out of the speeding ticket, your energy increases. He finally texted you back, your energy increases. The person you were talking to says yes to the business, your energy increases. You got that deal, the energy increases. You see, most of us allow the environment to dictate our energy. We become energy reactors. Instead, I want you to focus on becoming an energy generator. I want you to be the energy you want to attract. I want you to be the energy you feel good about transferring to others. I want you to be the energy that others gravitate toward. This all starts with a simple choice. And that simple choice is you being aware enough to ask yourself, what is the energy level I want to have today? What kind of energy do I want to bring to this meeting? What kind of energy do I want to bring as I walk into my home? What kind of energy do I want to bring when I enter this environment? Walking in each and every moment of the day, your energy is a decision, it's a choice, and it's one of the most important decisions you will make. Think of it this way. Higher energy equals a higher level of influence. Low energy equals a lower level of influence. Your energy is the environment that is going to invite or disinvite others, motivate or demotivate others, elevate or decimate others. And I hope that you're starting to see and understand the significant role your energy plays in your level of influence. Now, it's interesting because when you think about developing influence, you think you have to have had a massive amount of success to be influential. You have to be massively wealthy to be influential. You have to have tons of credibility and accolades and backing to be influential. When in reality, influence has a lot more to do with the energy you bring to something, the passion you bring to something, the enthusiasm you bring to something. That's what really brings that sense of influence. Because if you bring high level, enthusiastic, optimistic, moving energy to something, other people are going to be attracted to that. They're going to gravitate toward that. They're going to be on board with that. If you show up to a meeting trying to bring, listen, for reals, let's just talk about simple influence. If you are trying to get your kids excited about doing something, let's just say, okay, so summer's coming, and let's just say we're putting out the summer chore chart and dividing up the chores that need to be taken care of around the house so that mom's not doing all the things. If you don't do this with your family, please do it with your family, because your kids need to learn these things to become responsible human beings, right? But if you're like, okay, kids, I know you're not going to be excited about this, but I put together a summer chore chart with all the chores that everybody's going to do so that, it just shares the work and everybody does a little bit to help out so it doesn't all fall on one person. And I need everybody to really be bought into this and sold out to this so that the house doesn't fall apart or the yard doesn't fall apart over summer break. Okay, everybody in? And your kids are not going to be in. They're going to be like, this is dumb. They're already tuning themselves out. They're already coming up with excuses. They're already starting to complain. They're already being negative. You held no influence in that situation, that conversation. But if you came in, you're like, oh my gosh, I have the best idea ever. You're going to capture their attention. I have found a way to alleviate, right? You probably want to do the word alleviate with your kids. I just found the way to lessen the stress of all the chores during summer in a way that's fair, where you get to choose what chores you participate in every single week, where there's going to be, significant rewards on the table for completing your chores without being asked, yada, yada, yada. Now they're going to be like, okay, I'm listening. Tell me more. I'm interested. And because you brought a different level of energy to it, because you brought passion to it, excitement to it, enthusiasm to it, they're more likely going to be influenced to be on board with whatever it is that you're doing. See, and that's leadership, taking charge, right? Leadership is influencing people toward a goal or agenda or movement, right? That's literally like what it is. And the best part is that you're 100% in charge of this. You get to decide what it's going to be. You get to reset your energy when you feel it start to slip, and you get to gift it to those you come into contact with. After all, energy is one of the most contagious things there is, so we want to make sure that we are always spreading what we would want in return. Here's what we want to remember. Our energy influences the people we meet. Our energy influences the quality of relationships we have. Our energy influences the level of trust you develop with someone. Our energy influences the environment we are in. Our energy influences our ability to connect with others. Our energy influences way more than you know, and your energy ultimately influences your level of influence. Therefore, we got to be sure to charge it, guard it, and use it for good. If you want to grow your influence, you have to start by owning your energy. If you want to increase your influence, therefore increase your leadership capacity, you have to create a different level of awareness and accountability about the energy you bring to every aspect of your day. Leadership is the ability to influence others. Leadership is the ability to influence others to move, and your energy has a huge role in that. In fact, if you don't create this heightened sense of your energy, if you don't pay attention to how your energy changes, if you don't decide what level of energy you're going to bring over every room that you walk into, over into every conversation that you're a part of, over into every interaction that you have, you're lessening your leadership credibility. And that is not the direction that we are looking to go. Therefore, if you want to increase your leadership, you got to increase your influence. If you want to increase your influence, you got to increase your knowledge, awareness, and understanding that you have a choice in the energy that you bring. With that, my friends, I hope that you choose the energy you're going to carry throughout today and allow that energy to influence for good in the direction that you're going, in whatever capacity that you're working in. You guys, thanks again for joining me here on Brewing Success, where growth is the mission, change is the reward, and progress is the goal.